Good morning for some of you, good afternoon for others. I'm just going to get started until people kind of flow in. I haven't done live videos with YouTube in a good while. I kind of just stopped because of personal things that I was taking care of in my life and, pretty much running a coaching service, an online coaching service, and meal plans and things like that. So working with clients. So I kind of got away from doing the live things, but I'm going to be bringing this back. I'm also going to be bringing back videos on talking about my personal life and experience when it comes to dealing with my divorce and all of that stuff. So yes, I am going to be bringing those things back, and I'm actually checking some things as we speak. So, again, good morning for some of you, good afternoon for others, because it's 12 o'clock here in Michigan. For those of you who don't know where I'm from, I live in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. I live in the suburbs of Michigan, kind of. So, people are catching me elsewhere in my social media. So it's been in the 90s lately. So it's been pretty hot. So that made me cut my hair again. That's another thing. But this live chat is to talk about two things. One, this weekend I will be in Chicago. So in Chicago, there's two events that are going on. One major one that I'm a part of. It's at the Pheasant Run Resort. That's where I'll be located. That is the North American Pole Dance Championship competitions or competition championships. So that's where I will be. Once this video is complete, I'm going to make sure I put all of the links and information down below of where I plan to try and do a meet and greet. It probably will be there because it's a lot easier to do it there, or it more than likely might be at like a Panera Bread or something like that, because that's probably where I'm going to go eat. Now, I do have my meal plan. I work with the meal plan service, so if you check out my website, I will have that link down about the meal prep service that I use. I do have meals that are already ready from that service that I'm going to be taking with me for the weekend. So it makes it a lot easier. So I don't have to spend money trying to figure out where and what to eat. And, stuff at resorts costs more than it needs to. And I'm still sticking with whole foods and eating a certain way. And it's just my nature. So yeah, that's it. So I will be in the pole dance competition this weekend. My actual performance is on Saturday. It's in the evening. Again, it's at Pheasant Run Resort in Chicago, Illinois. So that's where I will be. It's the first, and I'm not exactly sure if it's the last division that they're going to be doing with the North American Pole Dance Competition Championships, but it's for exotic flow. So I'm in a totally different category than I've always been in the other 3 or 4. This might be my 5th competition with them. So we'll see. But that's what I'm going to be doing Saturday. Friday evening, I am finishing up some information that I need to send to a friend, that there will be a performance that I will be doing at Uptown Underground in Chicago as well. And that will be Friday evening starting at 10:30. So again, I'll mention all of this stuff down below. I'll mention where my competition will be on Saturday. I'll mention where I will be doing a performance on Friday, and the time. And I also will mention meet and greet. So if you're not following me on all other social media, you probably want to do that, especially Instagram, because I try to post as often as I possibly can there. And the same thing on my Facebook page. Those are the only 2 avenues that I use, although I have Twitter and Tumblr and Pinterest and all of the others. Facebook and Instagram are the ones that I use the most. I post as often as I can, like I said, but even though I work in social media, I am not attached to social media. So it's kind of, I find my balance. You have to find your balance with that. So enough said with that. So let's talk about keto. So I have black coffee. I don't want to show it's black coffee, and I use honey. I no longer use creamers because I am allergic to almonds. I I'm so upset about that. So almond milk, almond creamers are fine, but I'm just taking myself away from the almond altogether because I had an itchy and runny nose and scary experience once again with when I take things out of my diet and then bring them back in, and then I realize that I'm freaking allergic to it. So a lot of times people don't even know that they're allergic to certain foods and they've been eating it for so many years and had no reaction to it because their body is somewhat immune to it at that point in time. And then once you take it out for a long period of time, then you find out that you're allergic to it. So I have black coffee, so if I sound like I'm starting to get real revved up about this keto thing, you'll understand. So who am I talking to today? Where are you from? Say hi to me. I'm not seeing any comments. You're watching me. I know you're watching me. Where is everyone from? Are you at work? I have my laptop sitting here. I know you guys read the title, and I asked people to stop asking me about keto, and I'm about to tell you why. You need to stop asking me about keto. I'm also going to post a video underneath this once it's uploaded about, thank you, Melissa, about ketogenic diets. Let me get this out first. Hi from Texas, Charlotte, North Carolina. Keto works. Ooh, Orlando, Florida, my other home. Hey, Tangela, Ohio. Ooh, Indianapolis, I have a lot of friends there. Tennessee, yeah, at work. Keto works. I'm just going to say that. But I'm going to need people to stop asking me about keto for a reason. I'm going to tell you why. Because I'm studying to be a nutritionist and ultimately a therapist. I honestly am trying to find my really strong niche when it comes to the fitness industry. And I love to work out. You guys know I'm still a gym rat, even though I haven't been to the gym in about a week and a half because all my focus has been on practicing for my competition in pole dance. And to me, pole dance can get you in the best shape of your life. So if you haven't tried it, try it. Louisiana, hey guys. Hey. Hot to try. Don't I know you? So, trying to learn more on Chicago. I'll be there. Trying to learn more on nutrition and therapeutic responses or techniques to help people kind of identify with themselves when it comes to mental health and how they eat. That's kind of what I'm focusing on and trying to get my niche in. Ooh, visit from Europe. Whoa, welcome. Pennsylvania, not too far from me. Let's go here. All right, now I can see. It was a lot of you guys. Hi, Spirit. I know Pennsylvania. When, Ebony, I will be in Chicago this weekend. I will be at the Pheasant Run Resort Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I am going to be posting information on all my social media as well as links down below this video once it's done and uploaded of information. The location, the times, all of that will be there. I know I will because I'm looking at my computer and it's already set up, so all I have to do is plug the information in. So I'll be there this weekend. I'll be doing a performance, I will be doing my competition, and I will be setting up some kind of a meet and greet. And more than likely it might be at a Panera Bread because that's where I want to eat. But that's so if you missed that, that's what's going to be happening. But let's talk about keto. Once again, keto does work. But the reason why I get this question a lot. If it's not in the comment section, it's in personal emails, and sometimes it may be from potential clients. So if you don't know, I am an online coach. I do two different types of coaching. I do one-on-one coaching, and then I create custom plans and custom programs for you. Everything is there on my website. Again, just be patient with me because sometimes I kind of change it up to see how you guys are able to navigate through my site to find that kind of information. And I'm also trying to make it as affordable as possible. Because that's another thing. A lot of times you get all of these different nutritionists and people, and they'll be charging like up the Yahoo for, the information. But you got to invest in yourself, but let's make it easy for you. And I love what I do. So it doesn't have to be all about the money for me, but let's just be honest. I still have to make a living. So I do online coaching, and I get this question a lot from potential clients. I get it from those that watch me on YouTube. A lot of times on Instagram, people ask me, what are my thoughts on keto? And I have done keto before. I've done keto in different ways. I've done keto eating junk food. I've done keto eating mostly whole foods. I've done keto before. Does it work? Yes, it does work. There are doctors out there that mention that keto does work. However, they also will say, including myself, it is not a long-term diet. It is a fad diet. The purpose of a ketogenic diet was to help children with epilepsy problems. That was the purpose of it. Because our brains work off glucose, carbohydrates. 25% of our brain needs glucose, energy. Our brain is an energy thing. It's energy. And when you take out completely a macronutrient that your body needs, you are effing up your brain function. I don't know how simple I can get with that. Ketogenic diets work because it gives you higher on the fats, lower on the what we call active carbs, because there's fibrous carbs and then there's starchy, sugary, refined carbs. Those are the two. And then where was I going with that? Yeah, the different types of carbs, and your brain works off of that. Period. So you got higher on fats, low to no carbs, moderate protein. I don't want to say high on protein, but just moderate on protein. And even with the types of protein that you eat on a ketogenic diet, it is expected that you eat meats that are a little bit higher in the fat content. And that's not necessarily good either, because for most of us, when we think about a standard American diet, we think about greasy, oily foods. And let's just be honest. And that is not good for our that's not good for our bodies biologically. It's just not. It's not good on our digestive system, and it's not good for our brain, and it causes obesity. Just know that. So the way people think of a ketogenic diet and then being able to eat butter and all of this different stuff, there are a list of things that you can eat. I also have a ketogenic diet plan that is on my website, but it's very closer to doing keto whole food style as opposed to just eating high in fats of stuff that is processed foods. So your body needs these three most important macronutrients. It needs protein, it needs carbohydrates, and it needs fats. It is okay to be higher on the fat aspect, lower on the carbs, moderate on the protein. Those things are good. But my thought pattern to eating a healthy lifestyle and being able to lose weight is freaking just eat clean food and stop eating junk, processed, refined sugar foods. That's the simplest way that I can put it. So when people keep asking me, what are my thoughts on keto? It is a fad diet that works. It helps you lose water weight more than it helps you lose fat. It will mess up your mental thought pattern if you go for it for too long period of a time. It is a short-term fad diet that works. Only remember that. Do not put yourself through a ketogenic diet if you are not dealing with epileptic problems, if you are not, if your doctor didn't tell you that keto is good for you, don't do it. If they say no, don't do it. Don't freaking do it. Now, if your doctor says yes, then try it. But do it in a whole food style way. Don't do it in just finding things that are high in fats and they're not good fats. There are good fats out there. There's avocados, there's nuts, there's seeds, there's what's other things that are higher in fats. There are some meats that are cool, but I don't care for red meat. Some people can eat red meat. What are other really good? There's coconut oil, there's olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, which I wouldn't necessarily suggest that you cook with that, preferably cook with coconut oil. But there's different types of oils out there that are higher on the fat content, but you have to be careful because fat is higher on a caloric aspect of it, and you may be eating more than your body actually needs, and that doesn't help you lose any weight. The basic thing you need to know is eat whole foods. Make sure you have a balanced amount of carbohydrates, protein, and fats. So clean, balanced amount, and then just eat. I don't know any other way to say it. Just eat clean food. Stop eating junk stuff. Stop eating junk. Just stop eating junk. Stop asking me about keto and just eat clean. Just eat foods that God made for your body. It should not be that hard. It's simple. And then just bring yourself to a caloric deficit, a moderate caloric deficit. Don't be going from like 2,500 calories, because somebody corrected me. I said 25,000 or something, but 2,500 calories and then trying to drop down to 1,200 calories. That's just crazy. A slight caloric deficit. I did a video, the last video that I did, I mentioned about how to find out your caloric needs on a light to moderate level as far as your activity level. And you can find that out, and then it can tell you how much you need to eat to lose weight or to gain muscle or just to keep wherever weight that you are. Pay attention to your caloric intake. Eat good foods, stay on that balanced nutrition, and then make sure you're at a caloric deficit if you're trying to lose weight. Those are the easiest ways to lose weight. Keto just messes with your brain and it causes you to lose water weight. That's it. Because taking carbohydrates out of your diet means you're just taking water or something that you need for it to shuttle glucose to your brain so your brain can function right. I know some of you probably don't even notice, like when you take carbs out of your diet, you wonder why you're pissed off and angry and hungry all the time. It's because your brain is craving carbohydrates. It needs it. Your body needs it. So why are you going to take something out of your diet that your body needs? God gave us a function that is necessary, biological law. We can't live without food. Can we live without eating often? Yes, that's what intermittent fasting is. Some people can eat once a day and be fine, live long lives. There are people who can eat 6-7 times a day, still be under a caloric deficit, live long lives. To each its own. But it makes no sense to take out things in your diet that your body physiologically needs because God created you that way. Everybody is created the same. Yes, I eat clean. When I say eat clean, that I am more of an advocate of eating clean. So on my website, I do custom programs for you, which means that it's based according to the question. I have a questionnaire and it's based according to your lifestyle, your likes, your dislikes. That's how I'm able to do custom programs, training programs or meal programs. I do have already made programs on there that you can follow because they work for any and everybody. There's a beginner, there's an intermediate, and then there's an advanced, and then I'm working on body type programs. So based on the ecto, the endo, and the mesomorph body types, and they require something different. So once you find out what body type you are, then you're able to follow the program. But with the keto diet, I do have that on there. But that keto diet, I have it set up for you to focus on whole foods. If you purchased this program before or you are going to purchase this program, you're going to notice that it's all about whole foods. It's about foods that God made for your body, period. That's what it is. Yes, that's kind of how my the program is set up, where not with a really strong restriction of no carbohydrates. The first thing that people don't realize is that your all of your vegetables are carbs. So some keto diets, when they say 0 to no carbs, they're pretty much telling you to cut out something that your body needs. Freaking vegetables. Like, why would I not eat vegetables? You need that. They are fibrous carbs. They help with your digestive system. They help shuttle other micronutrients and macronutrients into your body. You need those. That helps with your digestive system, period. Other vegetables that are on the starchy aspect, and this is something that I've been doing some research on, so I'll share it with you guys. But my diet, as far as it comes to carbs, is I don't eat oatmeal. I rarely ever eat rice or quinoa. These are these are not in themselves what I would say bad carbs, but they are a processed carb. So I use them sparingly for my diet. Does that work for other people's diets to have rice and quinoa and, other stuff like that? Yes. Oatmeal, yes, it works for them. With sweet potato. But I will say this, all of the potatoes that you eat is fine except for russet potatoes. This is just from recent research on my own, looking into things when it comes to my clients and being able to serve you guys a little bit better when I'm talking about becoming a better nutritionist. Russet potatoes they're pretty big. I call them the obese carb. They are a vegetable because they grow from the ground, but we also understand genetically modified organisms. That's GMO. There are some of our natural foods or whole foods that are GMO, just so that they claim we can have enough to feed the world, but that's another story. So, like, we have corn, we have peas, we have bananas, some potatoes. Most of the time, it's really in our fruits, but yeah, there are some foods that are genetically modified. So that's something to think about, but don't overreact there. So russet potatoes is kind of like a GMO. I call it an obese type because it's a more starchier carb than sweet potatoes, red potatoes, because those potatoes have more of a thicker, waxier when you cut into them, like texture to them. And a russet potato is more of a crumbly texture. Um, and that just means that it's a starchy carb. It runs through the body pretty fast and it can elevate your blood sugar levels. So it's just better to just stick with other forms of potatoes. And that's just from my personal research. If you eat russet potatoes and you love them, eat them. If they don't cause you to gain weight, or you not dealing with that, or it's making it hard for you to lose weight, you might want to check that and see how that works. Eliminate that and move on to some other form of potatoes. But I just stick with sweet potatoes. So good carbs are your vegetables, period. Yams, not candy yams, but you can have those every now and then. Don't think you can't. But yams, sweet potatoes, red potatoes, other potatoes other than russet potatoes. Russet potatoes is just very starchy. It just causes you to gain weight. It does, because it just stores it right to your fat cells. It doesn't do like the others where it keeps your blood sugar levels a little bit more even. And it's better for your brain function with those other forms of potatoes. So this is just from my personal research and trying to see how this works for people that I deal with that are diabetic or pre-diabetic and dealing with PCOS. So yes, that's what I'm doing with it. But stop asking me about keto because it's a fad diet. Just eat clean. I do not put coconut oil in my coffee. I know that's a keto thing, and again, I will separate that from keto because you can do that and not have a ketogenic diet. I do not have a ketogenic diet, So coconut oil, MCT oil, those are the only two that I personally think are cool to put into your coffee. But what I do for me, black coffee, no creamer now. If I do put a sweetener in, I deal with honey. I don't like stevia because I don't like the aftertaste. That's me personally. I don't like artificial sweeteners because it's artificial. That's me personally. Um, and that's just pretty much it. I like things that are what I consider to be whole, or my mind is thinking God made this for us. Yes, let's. If you look at it on the natural or the biological level, despite the fact that some of our things are genetically modified because God gave us a brain to use science a certain way, there is science behind certain things, and that's okay for some and not okay for other things for me personally. So I'm encouraging you guys to do your own research when it comes to your body. Ketogenic is really just a low carb diet. Really just means you need to just stop eating refined sugars and processed foods. Those are carbohydrates. They're bad for your body. Stick with the whole foods. Stick with your potatoes. Stick with your vegetables. If you eat meat, stick with lean meats or whatever meats your body likes, or not. You know, there's other ways to get protein into your diet other than meat. So speaking as specifically to vegetarians and vegans, our bodies won't die if it doesn't get protein. I will be doing, because there's protein in our vegetables and stuff too. It's just a small amount, but it's there. So I will be doing a video about the best proteins for vegetarian and vegan style dieters, because that's kind of what I've been for the past almost year now. And now I'm going into pescatarian. I'm playing around with it and see how meats work for me. Well, not meats. I don't think I'm ever going to go back to eating chicken and turkey, and I just don't feel like it. I don't. But fish is it. Want to add fasting? That's a good question. I probably should do a separate video about intermittent fasting, a live video about it. But I wanted to answer the question about keto because I keep getting it. I keep getting that question. And I think people just aren't doing their own research about it. Not only that, if they are, because they watch me and I'm considered an influencer, so we are all influenced by each other. Not to mention I'm influenced by you guys with your comments, your questions, your just the stuff that you put on my videos. It helps me learn. It helps me do the research too. So don't think that just watching me, I'm looking at myself as you're following everything I do, because honestly, I be following some of the stuff you guys be talking. Like, let me look into that. Let me see what that's about. But because I constantly been getting this question about ketogenic diet, and it's like, to me, it's just a low carb diet and I'm just not with it. I'm not pre-diabetic. When I started my weight loss journey, I don't even know if I was or not pre-diabetic, but I did not do a keto diet or a low carb diet. I just paid attention to my calorie intake and kept myself at a caloric deficit. That is all I did. I kept it simple and I ate whole foods. Yes, every now and then I had processed food, macaroni and cheese. Every now and then I might have pasta. I might have fried chicken. I mean, yeah, I did. But the simplest form is just eat foods that are made for your body and get yourself out of caloric deficit if you need to lose weight. If you're not trying to lose weight, just find a maintenance, stick with that, and just leave it alone. Don't think too hard about how you're eating and what you're eating, because it gives you a bad relationship with food. And I feel that keto gives people who don't necessarily need to use it a bad relationship with food. They think they're fat because they're eating too many carbs. And the honest to God truth is, you are eating too many carbs. You're eating too many refined and processed carbohydrates. So just take that out of your diet. It's not easy. The occasional every now and then cookie or piece of cake or whatever, it happens. We're human. It happens, and be okay with it, but get your butt back on your whole food bandwagon and stop overthinking about eating. Stop identifying how you eat with a fad diet or with a title. Just eat clean, period. Eat what God made for you. That's my thoughts on keto. That's it. That's it. So I'm going to end it right here because it's 30 minutes. And again, I don't like long videos. I wanted to get it straight to the point. Um, I'll be uploading, my next video I'll be uploading will be next week because the rest of the week is going to be quite busy for me. The week when I come back, I'll be teaching at CCS. I'll be teaching kids and drawing and stuff like that. So I'll make sure I record stuff like that, how I'm eating and all of that. But and then the next live chat I'll probably do is talk about intermittent fasting again. But if you are curious about it and how it works, I do have that program on my website. I also have videos already of how I do intermittent fasting, and it's starting to get more in depth for me where I'm doing longer fasting periods and I'm eating maybe like only twice a day now. So I'm playing around with the different styles of intermittent fasting. So if you don't know about intermittent fasting, I'll make that the next video and talk a little bit more about that. It's not about what you eat, it's timing. So that's a whole nother aspect. So I am an advocate of whole food eating, and I am a person who enjoys intermittent fasting. I think all of the other diet styles work, but the whole thing is bringing yourself to a caloric deficit, having some patience, and staying consistent. I will see you guys in the next video. I love you guys. Bye bye, everyone.